Hello everyone. In this session, we will try to discuss about the rotary actuators of the rack and pinion type. Now, here in this case, in the previous sessions, what we have discussed is with respect to the rotary actuators, vane type we have discussed, and also the reciprocating type we have discussed it. Now, what we are discussing is a special type, which is a particular one, which is of the rack and pinion type. They are the special duty rotary actuator which is having a high torque and as well as a small installation dimension, or it may be the moment with respect to the rotary actuators is of very small in dimension. Now here the actuators may have either it may be a single piston or it may be a double piston, but the transmission what it is taking place by giving a turning moment either by means of the rack and pinion moment, or by means of pinion and rack, depending upon the type of the application. Now here in this case, as we know that the toothed piston rod acts as the output shaft in the rack and pinion type arrangement. Each position of the toothed rod is an integral construction. The rack and pinion type arrangement gives the even turning moment throughout the rotation of the shaft. Now the driving shaft is robustly supported by means of a brushing and as well as a self-lubricating type. They are key to the output shaft. The turning limits of the rotary actuators should be determined by the external stop or by means of a lug or any other by means of switch mechanisms. Now here the compressed air is fed to the piston chamber via the connection plate and a Delt gallery, which is at the central plate and the end cover. The rotary actuators as a cylindrical block of a natural anodized aluminum with the ends covered with a black anodized aluminum. As the standards of all are available with a turning angle of either it may be a 90 degree or it may be a 180 degree. And the three-dimensional view of the rotary actuators are as shown in the next slides. Now here, as we know that there are two sketches. One is with respect to a two-dimensional sketch, the another one is with respect to a three-dimensional sketch. See here, by looking into the two-dimensional sketch, there is a two thing. One is nothing but a rack, the another one is a pinion. The rack and as well as the pinion movement is done by because of the movement of the what we can say the piston, as there are two ports will be there. One is nothing but the inlet port, another one is nothing but the outlet port. Because of the air acting into the ports, the movement of the piston is taking place. Either it may be from the left to right or it may be right to left. But here in the schematic diagram you can see a stroke adjustment screw is also there, by which the movement of the what we can say the piston, it can also be adjusted. As the piston starts reciprocating it, the shaft which is mounted on the gear, that it will also start rotating it because of the sliding movement of the piston and as well as the connection what it has been taken between the rack and as well as the pinion. Now the next part what we are discussing is nothing but a rack and pinion which is having a two racks and as well as one pinion will be there. Even in this also, in the previous case there are two openings will be there, but here in this case the two openings are at the same side, but the torque what it is required to transmit from the pinion to the shaft, if it is of a high, in that cases these type of the rack and pinion arrangements are used. Next one is nothing but the helix spline rotary actuator. The helix spline rotary actuator is another actuator which is comes under the category of a spiral shaft rotary actuator. Why means here in this case it's a non-rotating piston with a hollow rod. The hollow rod has a set of internal spiral grooves that are measured with a spiral shaft. The spiral groove shaft only has a rotational moment and extended through the housing. The fluid pipe to the clockwise port, the output shaft turns in the clockwise direction. If the fluid is piped in the counterclockwise direction, the movement of the shaft will also be in the counterclockwise direction. See, depending upon the movement of the direction, even the flow can also be controlled. The schematic diagram shows the helix spline rotary actuator. Now here in this case, a output shaft will be there. On the output shaft, a spline or something like a square threaded has been cut, over which a hollow rod has been placed, which is meshing to the threaded portions. Now the another one is, which is nothing but a rotating member, a non-rotating member. A non-rotating member is nothing but which is sliding in and out. Now here there are two ports will be there. One is nothing but a clockwise port, the another one is nothing but the counterclockwise ports. If the pressurization is done in the case of the counterclockwise port, the shaft will also rotates in the counterclockwise direction. If the pressurization is done in the clockwise direction, the rotation of the shaft is also in the clockwise direction. See, this is a small explanation with respect to the helix spline rotary actuator. The next topic what we are discussing is with respect to the control valves. See, the control valves especially plays a major role. That too, especially there are three different types of valves we know. The first one is nothing but a direction control valve. The second one is nothing but a flow control valve. The third one is nothing but a pressure control valve. These are the different types of valves. Normally what we are using in the case of either it may be in the hydraulic systems or it may be in the case of the pneumatic systems. The control of these, the mechanical output or the motion is one of the most important function in the hydraulic system. The proper selection of the control selecting and as well as ensures a desired output and as well as a safe function of the system. In order to have a control the hydraulic output, the different types of control valves are used and also required in the case of the systems. As I said, the three different types of valves are there. One is nothing but a direction control valve, the another one is nothing but a flow control valve, the another one is nothing but the pressure control valve. These are the control valves which contains the port that are external opening for the fluid to enter and as well as the leave. Now the number of the ports usually identified in terms of the way. For example, a 4 ports, it is represented by means of a 4-way valve. See, like that, the 3-way valve, 2-way valve, 4-way valve, even the 5-way valve is also there, or 5/2-way valve is also there. See, depending upon the type of the applications, even these type valves are also used. The fluid flow rate is responsible for the speed of the actuator and should be controlled in an hydraulic system. This operation can be performed by using a flow control valves. The pressure may increase gradually when the system is under operation. The pressure control valves protects the system by maintaining what we can say a required pressure within the system and also for the actuation of the work. Now, in the next topic, what we are discussing is with respect to the direction control valve. See, this direction control valve, or it may be the flow control valve or the pressure control valve, what we have already discussed in depth, especially in the case of the hydraulics also. The same thing will hold good even here also. The first thing, the direction control valve are used to control the distribution of the energy in the fluid power systems. Now even here also the distribution of the energy, in which direction it is flowing it is directed by means of a direction control valve. Now as you know that there are these valves are also used to control the start, stop, or it may be the change in the direction of the fluid flow. That is also possible by using the direction control valve. Direction control valves are classified in the following manner. The first one, it is types of the construction. The first one is nothing but a puppet valve and as well as a spool valves. The second classification is the number of ports. In this, the classification, either it may be a 2 or it may be 3, 4-way valves are there. The number of the switching position, the 2 position, or it may be a 3 position. Now the next topic what we are discussing with respect to the classification is the actuation mechanism. Even here the actuation mechanism, either it may be in the case of the manual, mechanical, solenoid actuation, hydraulic actuation, pneumatic, and as well as the indirect actuation. These are the different types of actuation what we are using in the case of the direction control valves. Now the pneumatic systems like the hydraulic systems also also requires a control valve to direct and also to regulate the flow of the fluid from the compressor to the various devices, or it may be the actuators or even the air motors. In order to control the movement of the air actuator, the compressed air has to be regulated, controlled and reversed with a predetermined sequences. The pressure and as well as the flow rate of the compressed air to be controlled to obtain a desired level of the force and as well as the speed of the air in the actuator. Now in further sessions what we are discussing is with respect to the types of the direction control valve. Now here in the previous slides we have discussed the types of the direction valve. In the types of the direction valves also there are two things here. One is nothing but a puppet type, the another one is a spool type. In the puppet type there are another three types here. One is with respect to the ball seat, the another one is a disc seat, the another one is the diaphragm seat. The sliding spools normally it will be of the what we can say 2 to 3 types. The first one is nothing but a longitudinal type, the second one is nothing but a suspended spool type, the another one is nothing but a rotary spool type. The next part what we are discussing is with respect to the type of the construction of the check valves. See, the check valve is the unidirectional valve which permits the free flow in only in one direction. These valves are having a two ports. One is nothing but for the entry, the another one is for the exit or it may be a discharge. They are consist of the housings or housing bore in a ball or a puppet is held by means of a spring pressure. Okay, the wall having the ball closes the member known as the ball check valve. The various types of the check valves are also available. These check valves are depends upon the what we can say the size and also the flow rate. The valves are generally the small sizes and the simple in construction and even it is less expensive. The generally check valves are automatically operated. Human interventions and the external control systems are not required because as the construction itself is totally a very simple and also the flow direction is only in one direction. This is a schematic diagram shows the what we can say the check valve which consists of the spring. The spring is pressurized by means of pressurization to the ball. Once if the flow is taking place through the ball side, the flow is taking place, the flow of the either it may be the air or it may be the hydraulic that pressurizes a spring which contracts and the gap is created, the flow it will takes place. But here in these cases the reverse flow it is totally a difficult one. See, this is a small and as well as a simple mechanism what it has been used in the case of the check valve. However, some of the pressure drops across the walls are due to the restriction by the spring forces. Therefore, these valves are not suitable for the application of the high flow rate. The next part what we are discussing is with respect to the valves, the pressure drop if it is comparatively less in right angle to the check valve, some valves are meant for the application where a free flow is required in one direction and restricted flow in the other direction. These type of valves are called as restricted check valve or it may be a restriction check valves. These valves are used as a direction sensitive flow is required. The flow adjustment screw is also there. By adjusting the what we can say the flow rate, the restriction in the direction can also be adjusted. The schematic diagram shows the what we can say the restriction type check valve or it may be a restricted check valve. Here it consists of the flow adjustment screw which is having a needle by which the adjustment it can be done. The another one is there are two ports over there. One is nothing but the inlet port, another one is nothing but the outlet port. The inlet port is nothing but a flow is allowed, in the other end the flow is blocked. Even here also the blocking of the what we can say the flow is done by means of the what we can say a same as that of the puppet one. By this operation is done by means of the spring. A movable puppet will be there. Because of the movable puppet, the blocking of the passage of the inflow is done by using the poppet, and even what we can say, the adjustable screw is there, by which a small amount of adjustable can also be done very easily.